Additionally, the problem with CAT mocks, and I've also recommended this to a lot of my kids over the years, and why I recommend it to people is, see, when you are taking CAT mocks, let's say 1 week prior to CAT, October, on November 22nd, you're taking a CAT mock this year, let's say, and you end up scoring poorly. The damage that it will do to your psyche, because regardless of how much we should not be sentimental about our scores and the percentile that we get, we are not built that way. People are emotional. That is a understandable folly. So not forgivable, understandable. So if it is going to emotionally impact you, if it is going to emotionally impact you, it is not worthwhile. So what I tell people is, do this. One, in the month of November, in whichever mock you get a score that you feel is satisfactory, stop at that point. Uske baad mock nahi lena, ab seedha CAT dena. That doesn't mean you don't study anymore. You can still study. You can open old mocks. You can open even new mocks. Open them and submit them. As in, basically, some T2 ke Sweetie ki Sonu something movie was there. Uske andar Alok Nath had a wonderful dialogue. जब पता है रेस हारने लगे हो तो जानबूझ के गिर जाना चाहिए, so that later on you can make the excuse, अरे अगर हम दौड़ते तो हम जीत ही जाते. Very similar to that, when CAT is near and you don't want to be impacted by the emotional damage of a bad score, open the test, submit it, or let the timer pass. Don't attempt it, so that later on, when you are sitting down and looking at those questions and analyzing everything, you will get the learning without the drawback of having numeric hang-ups. Oh, मेरे इतने नंबर आए, मेरे उतने नंबर आए. तो देख लेना. For some people it works, for some people it doesn't. अच्छा, just to provide a counterpoint, last year I had a kid who did exactly the opposite thing. CAT से एक दिन पहले तक भाई मॉक दे रहा था. इनफैक्ट लास्ट हफ्ते के अंदर पर डे वो दो मॉक दे रहा था, एंड ही एंडेड अप स्कोरिंग 98.03, 98.04, समथिंग दैट परसेंटाइल, and it worked for him. So I am not saying one way is better than the other. I'm simply saying what I feel about the issue is directly in contradiction to what the kid felt, and despite my protestations, he went ahead and did that. It is just that he had that emotional maturity to realize scores don't matter. So there were days out of back last year, we were having 228 wala mocks initially, 228 as in 76 questions in the mock. So in those 228, he did end up scoring 50 in some mocks, and he did end up scoring 110 in some mocks. There was wild fluctuation depending upon the difficulty level of the paper and his familiarity with some questions that he was doing, but that did not deter him from taking the next mock. He did compromise on analysis, of course, क्योंकि एक दिन में अगर आप दो mock दे रहे हो तो आप analysis तो कुछ नहीं कर रहे. But again, it worked for him. In the interest of full disclosure, I will tell you both use cases, and then I will let it be up to your discussion. I personally believe that prior to CAT, close to CAT at least, you should stop taking mocks altogether, and you should ideally stop at a time when your last mock was an excellent score, where you feel, yes, I have achieved a score that I actually want to get in CAT. Then also don't be too greedy. No, I want to achieve out of 198, I want to get 180. इतना नहीं होता यार, light. Okay.